Hi friends, Miss Williams here. This is math lesson, let me see, 150, lesson 150, and this is for Monday. Let me look at the calendar. April 27th. Okay, so this is lesson 50, and this is for Monday, April 27th. Now, we have a lot to do today on our paper and our lesson, so I need you to pay very close attention. I actually need you to get your paper out right now because you're going to do a lot of stuff with me. So it's very important that you have your paper out with me in front of you. So go ahead and find it and get it out, okay? All right, I'll give you a second. Okay, time's up. Just kidding. All right, so get your paper out and make sure you write your name and number at the top of the paper. Now, if you look at the top section of your paper, section number 1, you'll see two different lines of clocks, okay? And you'll see one clock at a pink clock and then a blue clock underneath the pink clock. And then if you look at the line with the pink clock, you'll see 3 different clocks next to it. And you're going to have to choose the correct clock, but I'm going to explain to you how you're going to choose the correct clock. So I have my clock here, and it matches the time of your clock. Now, my clock and your clock have the same time of 3. Remember, we look at the hour hand first. 3 o'clock. Now, what we need to do is we need to figure out what is going to be half an hour later past this time of 3 o'clock. Now, if we review, we know that there are how many minutes in 1 hour? The correct answer is 60. 60 minutes in 1 hour. Now, we already have learned this before. Now, what would be half of 60? Remember, we did this before, but if we counted 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 30 is half of 60. So if I were to keep my hour hand here, let me see if I can do it, and move my minute hand, I'm doing it kind of well, not well enough, move my minute hand to 30, and then of course my hour hand would move too to halfway, because this is half of 60. So you will need to find the clock on the first row that says 3:30, because our original time was 3 o'clock, and we need to find a clock that is in a half hour later, which would be 3:30. So look at your paper and figure out which clock matches this clock that Miss Williams is holding. That says 3:30. Okay? Now, the next clock has another time, and I want you to figure out what time that says. Can you figure out what time that blue clock says? I'll give you a second to think about it, and I'm going to change my clock to that time right now. Okay, so my clock has been changed to the same time as the blue clock. And if we look at the hour hand, it's between the 9, nine's down here, the 9 and the 10. So it's right in the middle. So it's not to the 10 yet, so it can't be 10 o'clock. So that means it's 9. So we got the hour figured out, 9. Now we're going to go to, got moved a little bit, there we go. Now we're going to go to the minute hand. And the minute hand is down here on the 6 again. And if we were, wrong side, Miss Williams, if we were to count it, ready? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So this time says 9:30. Now we need to figure out a time that is a half hour past 9:30. So we know that this side, this is half of 60, which is 30. So if we were to count 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, so that means the next half hour would be, let me move it here, save some time, would be, do you think you know the answer? The correct answer is 10 o'clock. Okay, we started with 9:30, and then we went to 10 o'clock. And if we were to keep going, it would be 10:30, 11 o'clock, 11:30, 12 o'clock, 12:30, 1 o'clock. Okay, so you need to find the clock that has the correct time of 10 o'clock. Okay, so that is section 1. Now, section 2, you'll see 2 thermometers there, and they're both blank. You'll need to get a red crayon out, and you're going to need to look at the pictures, and you get to pick the temperature. Yeah, all right. So you need to draw your thermometer to a temperature that matches with the picture. So if we were to look at that first picture there, I see a boy playing baseball. Now, are we going to play baseball when it's cold outside? Yes or no? No, we're going to play baseball when it's warm or when it's hot outside. So that means our temperature is going to be, let's see, I would say past 50 degrees. That's what the temperature should be, something past 50 degrees. So maybe 60 degrees, 70 degrees. That would be a good temperature to play baseball in. And if you look at the next picture, what do you see? I see a girl. And what is she doing? She is making or building a snowman. Now, do we build snowmen when it's hot outside? No, because what would happen to the snow? It would melt. So we're going to draw this thermometer to a temperature that is cold. Now remember, when we look at our thermometer, if the thermometer is high, that means it's hot. But as it gets lower, that means it's getting colder. So you're going to want to draw your temperature to something that's kind of low on the end of the thermometer there. You don't want to make it up here, because that would not be correct, because we don't build a snowman when it's hot. We build a snowman when it's cold. All right, you got it? Okay. Now, section 3, you'll see a line of umbrellas. And the directions, they say start at the left, circle the 6th umbrella. So remember, we have the left side and the right side of your paper. You're going to start at the left side and color the 6th umbrella. Okay, now I'm going to ask you some questions here, okay? Now, back to the whole telling time thing. Back to the half hour. Remember, half an hour is 30 minutes. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want you to think about it. And think about if it would take you more than 30 minutes or less than 30 minutes to do these tasks, okay? Here we go. So the first task, making a peanut butter sandwich. Would it take less than 30 minutes or more than 30 minutes? It would be less. If you took more than 30 minutes to make a peanut butter sandwich, that's a long time. Okay, here we go. Moving to a new home. Would that take less than 30 minutes or more than 30 minutes? The correct answer is more. That's right. What about traveling to the White House? Ooh, to see the president. Would that take you less than 30 minutes or more? Correct answer is more, of course. What about opening a birthday present? That's always fun and exciting. Would that take you less than 30 minutes or more than 30 minutes? That's right, it would take you less. Because you usually rip presents open and it takes you probably less than a minute. And last one, saying a Bible verse. Would that take you less than 30 minutes or more than 30 minutes? The correct answer is less. Okay, so you get the idea? 30 minutes. All right, very good. Now, turn your paper over to the back side, because if you notice on the board, I have some beautiful artwork here. Isn't it so lovely? Just kidding. It's okay. I'm going to move the camera a little closer here so you can kind of see it a little better. Well, let's try to move it a little more up. There we go. Hi, everyone. Here we go. So, on the board here, I have drawn a graph. Now, we have talked about graphs before. I know it's a little funny right now. That's okay. So we have talked about graphs before. And this graph has 3 different sandwiches on it. And if you notice over here, I have the sandwiches. And if you notice on your paper, at the top, there's also 3 sandwiches. There's a peanut butter sandwich, peanut butter and jelly. There's a grilled cheese sandwich. And then the last sandwich on your paper is the turkey sandwich. Now, we're going to be using those for our graph. And here we have peanut butter and jelly, grilled cheese, and turkey. And if we look, I'm going to turn my camera down so you can see it. If you look at the bottom of the graph here, our numbers, Miss Williams forgot to write one number. Excuse me for 1 second. All right, forgot to write a 0. There we go. Now it's complete. So it starts at 0 and it goes to 5, and 5 more, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. All right, so we are going to use this graph to help us. Actually, you need to fill out the graph with me. So Miss Williams would have normally asked you all as a class what your favorite sandwiches are, but we can't do that. So I'm going to say that 6 students like peanut butter and jelly. I'm going to say that 9 students like grilled cheese. And I'm going to say that 5 students like turkey sandwiches. So at the top of your paper, you'll see that there's the 3 pictures of the sandwiches. And you'll see there's a box underneath each sandwich. We're going to draw something under each sandwich to match the numbers that I just read, and they are called tally marks. Now, a tally mark is just a straight line up and down. So, for example, I will show you peanut butter and jelly. There were 6 students. So I'm going to go to my peanut butter and jelly box, and I'm going to draw 6 lines, but we're going to draw it this way. Ready? And I want you to draw it at home also. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to stop there. 4. And then to make 5, we're going to draw a line, an oblong line through the 4. So that's 5. And then 1 more to make 6. So that is 6 tally marks, okay? Tally marks are fun. They're easy to draw, okay? Now the next sandwich was grilled cheese. And there were 9 students that like grilled cheese. So once again, we're going to start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Very good. So that's 9. So 6 like peanut butter and jelly, 9 like grilled cheese, and then 5 liked turkey. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 like turkey. Now, with our tally marks in our boxes, we need to fill in our graph to match the numbers, okay? So I'm going to use a red marker, and you can use any color crayon that you'd like to fill in your graph. And the correct number for peanut butter and jelly was 6. So I'm going to fill in 1, 2, it's not going to be pretty, but you'll get the idea, 3, 4, we're going to fill it all the way up to 5, and then Miss Williams went past 1, so 5 and 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to fill our graph up to 6, okay? Now, the next one was grilled cheese. There were 9 that liked grilled cheese, so we're going to fill in, let me try it this way. Let's see here, 5. So I'm going to fill in 5. And then I need to go 4 more, 6, 7. Here's the 10, so we're going to go right before the 10. So right there. So that's 9. Okay? And then there were 5 that liked turkey. So we're going to fill it all the way up to number 5. And then we can go over like so. I know you'll have more time to make it prettier than Miss Williams did, but do you get the idea? Okay, so looking at the graph, now we need to answer some questions on the bottom. The first question in box A says, which sandwich do the most students like best? So, which one had the most votes? That would be the grilled cheese. So you're going to mark grilled cheese on the box there. And then it says, which sandwich do the fewest students like best? So which one had the smallest amount of votes, or the least amount? And that would be the turkey, okay? And then which sandwich did you choose in the survey? So for this last one, you get to pick your favorite sandwich. Is it the peanut butter and jelly? Is it the grilled cheese, or is it the turkey? You decide. And that concludes our lesson for today. I hope you have a wonderful day, a great week, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.